Hey everyone, welcome to the 10th seminar in our Light Tackle Marathon. Remember, our Light Tackle sales event is going to be on April 11th. We're going to have a parking lot party going on with food, some kids' games and prizes. We are also going to have a rod and reel trade-in. So make sure you guys come on by for the event. We are looking forward to seeing you guys. Today, I'm here with St. Croix aficionado, Sam Greene. I'm sure you guys recognize his familiar face, but he is here to talk to us a little bit about St. Croix rods and about selecting the right light tackle rod for your purposes. So, Sammy G, you want to reintroduce yourself to the people and take it away?
Yeah, I'm Sam. I've been working here for a long time. I've been fishing the bay as long as I can remember, and St. Croix rods have kind of been a staple of the bay for about as long as I've been fishing. They've been a popular rod choice because they make tons of different lines of rods, and they make both more inshore capable rods, so they do a little bit better with like corrosion resistance on the guides, things like you don't see from some of the other freshwater brands. So awesome company to join us. We're excited to have it. It's going to be a cool event. It's one of our favorite of the years. We're going to have a bunch of cool people here, so really excited about it.
Cool. Awesome. So we're going to start off here. I guess I'll ask you, what do you look for when you are selecting a light tackle rod?
I think there's three main things we want to look at. One is self-explanatory. It's the power of the rod. What are we going to be fishing for, and how heavy of a weight do we need to cast? A lot of times when people are getting into fishing, especially light tackle fishing, they look at the size of the fish that we catch, and it could be 40, 50, 60-inch fish sometimes, and they think you need a giant rod for that. And oftentimes you might, but more often you're looking for a rod to throw the weight lure you're throwing. And the whole idea behind light tackle is to use light gear so we can have more fun fighting the fish. Oftentimes in the bay, there's lots of current. We're fishing deeper water, shallow water. You have to have a rod that can throw the specific lures you're throwing. So it's more important to look at that than it is the actual size of the fish we're catching. So power is going to be the first thing. Second is going to be action. So some of the fish we fish for are a little bit different. Typically speaking, we like fast action rods when we're talking about light tackle fishing. And the reason for that is a fast action rod is going to have more backbone. So that goes into the size of the fish we catch. Like a rod like this is only 6.5 feet. If you're not familiar with action, it refers to where the rod bends. So you can see on this one, this is a 6.5 foot medium Triumph. It bends up here towards really the top 20%. And that's important. One, it gives us a ton of backbone, so we're going to be able to fight those bigger fish because we have a really stout rod, but it also has a soft tip, so it's going to allow us to cast lighter jigs, lighter things like that. And it's also going to give us a little bit more sensitivity because it's going to be more rigid throughout it. If you have a rod that's kind of soft and bends in the middle, a lot of times that reaction of the blank being moved by bites or detection of the bottom will not make it all the way down to where your hand is on the reel seat because you have a soft rod that kind of absorbs that. So fast action is pretty standard. Extra fast, meaning it bends even further up top, is another common one for the light tackle game. And I think the third thing you need to look at is the length of the rod. So are you going to be fishing from shore? Or are you going to be in a boat that has a T-top? There's all sorts of things you need to consider with that. A longer rod is obviously going to cast further, which is a huge benefit. Whether you're really bottom fishing or you're casting and retrieving, a longer rod is always going to be better for that. But you have to juggle, are you fishing from shore where you might have overhanging limbs, things like that, or a T-top where you could bust your rod into on a jig, which we definitely want to avoid.
For sure.
So,
For sure.
To kind of slow it down for you, three things we're looking at is the power of the rod, the action as to where it bends, and the third is the length.
For sure, for sure. And St. Croix, they have a ton of different options, as you obviously know, for power, length, and action. So I know you picked out a couple options here that you really like. So you want to talk through them a little bit and sort of what their applications would be, what makes them good rods?
So to start off, basically any line of St. Croix, we carry the Triumph series, the Premier series, the Victory series, and then the Avid Inshores. All of them are basically going to come in these same powers and action and length. So you can kind of pick a series of rod that you like, and if you want to get multiple rods for different applications, you can get all of them in the same series, which is nice. So that's something to consider, and also the price point of these. Things get expensive quickly. We're going to have some great deals this weekend, so this is a great time to pick them up. But price point refers to a couple of things. Often the more money you spend on a rod, the more sensitive the blank is, which can be a good and a bad thing. A lot of people don't know that the more sensitive a rod gets, often the more brittle it becomes. So there is there is a line you want to draw. If you're just getting into fishing and you buy a really high-end rod, you're maybe not as familiar with how the rod loads and bends. You're more likely to break that rod. So if you go with something top of the line that's super ultra sensitive, you might be disappointed because you end up breaking it. So it doesn't mean that buying a more affordable rod means it's a bad rod. So that's something I want to consider. St. Croix makes it really easy. If you ever look at the actual blank here, it will tell you what the material used is. So this is SC2 graphite or carbon, kind of the same thing. St. Croix makes a series. They make SC2, SC3, SC4, SC5. The higher you go there, the more sensitive that is going to be. Also, the more brittle it becomes. So that's something to consider. If you're really a long-term fisherman here and you've been fishing a long time, you understand how rods bend, you've been through the unfortunate event of breaking a rod, maybe you want to fish something a little bit higher end because you have a little bit better idea how it moves. So that's when I would start moving over towards something like the Avid series here. I brought this up. This is a rod here this is for cobia fishing or big red drum. This is a 7.6 heavy. It's a great rod, but this also comes in the 6 foot, 6.5, 7 foot. So you can get what you need here. This rod here is made of SC3, I believe. SC3 Plus, so it's a blend of both SC3 and SC4. So this is really, really sensitive rod, a little bit more fragile as far as brittleness goes, but still an awesome option. If I was looking to get a rod that gives me the most sensitivity, this is a route that I would go. Also, that comes with a price point though. But the cool thing about St. Croix rods is they come with fabulous warranties. Whether you're getting some of the lower end ones with a 5-year warranty or some of the higher end rods, you're going to get as much as a 15-year or even a lifetime warranty. So that's a great adage that St. Croix has, and I'm pretty sure you've gone through it. I've gone through it.
I have, yeah.
Their warranties are about as good as it comes. You can usually email them. Sometimes they'll have you cut off the section where you broke. You can ship it out to them, and they'll go ahead and get you a new rod. So
yeah, it's a really easy process for sure.
Yeah, it's just a printout online, and it takes you a couple minutes, and you go ahead and get yourself a repaired rod or a new option there. So that's kind of the top of the line that we carry from them, as well as the Legend Tournament here. So this is another one of their higher end rods here for sure. This is an SC4 Plus. So this is about as sensitive as it gets. This is a 7 foot medium. Which is a fabulous rod for like trout fishing in the shallows. One, you get the good casting distance with that longer blank, but also it does have a fast action, but it's kind of a little bit slower tip. With trout, as we all know, they have softer mouths, so keeping those hook pin and not tearing their lips up is super important. So having a rod that, one, has a little bit of shock absorption with the slower action to it is a little bit better for those trout applications. Another line of rods, which is the SC2, which is the Triumph, which is by far one of the more populars because it's affordable action, super sensitive, come with pretty good guides. This is in a 6.5 foot medium. This is kind of like the standard for rockfish jigging. It's a little on the short side, but you can still get a pretty good cast with it because we're usually using pretty heavy jigs. And also we're going to have braided line, which is going to help with that too. So a 6.5 foot medium is kind of standard for your rock fishing. Usually we're throwing anywhere from like a 3/16 ounce jig in the shallows all the way up to like an ounce jig in kind of open water fishing. And that's going to be able to handle it all. Triumph series is a great option. This is the SC2 here. So another good option there. And then I think I brought up one more line of rods here for you. This is the Victory, which is one of my favorite lines of rods. I know I talk about it a lot here at the shop. The Victory is just a great balance point. So this comes with the SC3 Plus, which is kind of their middle of the road in the sensitivity line. That provides me a little bit of durability, but it also comes with a really sensitive blank. So I can kind of do everything with it. This particular rod is a 6'8" medium, extra fast, so it's kind of a do everything size. It's kind of not too long, but it's also not too short. So I can fish it still with rods with or boats that I have T-tops on or pilot houses and not worry so much about bashing it into things. But I also have that couple more inches, which helps me with the casting.
For sure, for sure. Well, thank you, Sammy G.
Yeah.
That was a lot of really great education on St. Croix rods. I think that will really help people come into the store and deciding what they want to pick out for all sorts of light tackle fishing. Remember, guys, we are having our light tackle event on April 11th, so we hope to see you there. All of your light tackle fishing gear is going to be on sale, so make sure you stop by. And Sammy G, thank you very much for educating us
Yeah.
today. And
Thank you guys. Like I said, we're really excited about this event. Light tackle is kind of taking over the bay. That's how just about everybody wants to fish these days. So it's a great learning time. It's a great time to pick up things for this upcoming season. So we look forward to seeing you guys, and take care.